Hello, and welcome back to the Business Pulse podcast. My name is Candice Jarrett. Today, we're talking to Swire Ho, Director of Sales and Marketing and founder at Geruda Promo and Branding Solutions. Swire is an expert on customer retention programs, as well as how to turn your customers into mini advocates of your brand. We'll talk about all that today and more on episode 11. This is the Business Pulse podcast, where you'll discover strategies, tools, and stories to inspire success through conversations with leading business owners, startup founders, and venture capitalists. Our aim is your success. Presented by XKOVA, a next-generation payment processor to help your business thrive. Visit us at xkova.com. Hi, Swire. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Candice, thanks for having me on your show.
Awesome. So I guess first, before we get into some things that I'm really excited to talk about, I'd like to talk about your personal journey. What made you decide to found Geruda Promo and Branding?
If you're taking it all the way back, I used to be in the CD, DVD replication business. So along the way, film company, record label asked, do we do T-shirts? When they go on tour, they can sell it. Or on the red carpet, do we do gift bags with their names on it? So we stumbled upon the business. And in 2013, we sold the CD, DVD business and focused exclusively in promotional product. It's always exciting, always changing. So I like the business.
Awesome. So let's talk about identifying your target audience. So what does that look like for you?
I'm actually doing that before I hop on to this call with you. So I always looked at the list, for a listener who wanted to do this exercise together. Look at the last 3 to 6 months. Look at the people who actually bought from you. Who are these people? What can you tell me about the title, the industry, their location, or maybe is it gender, or is it location specific? The more that you know about these people, the more that you could build your ICP, your ideal client. So these are the people that you want to spend time, money, and effort to reach out to. And a lot of time when I talk to a client, when I talk to friends or colleagues, they try to go after everyone, right? Just because you're a restaurant doesn't mean that you have to go after everyone who eats.
That's a good way to put it. You always want to find your target audience. So what are some of your favorite tools for doing that?
Just to look at my client list, that would tell you the whole story. For example, you have different product, for example, or you have something that you sell at a lower cost, but you have something as a premium, for example. So let's say you want to grow your premium type business. So look at who these people are. The reason you do that is because if you can identify who they are, then you can actually answer the question about where these people are going to be, what platform you're going to use, and also what type of strategy you're going to use. Are they going to be hanging out at a golf course? Are they going to be at TikTok all day? Are they going to be at in-person industry meetings? So that you can actually answer your own question to where you can meet more of these people.
Do you have any insight on maybe businesses that haven't launched yet, who are just doing their early target market research?
Yeah, that's a good question. Then you could dream big, right? You can only do as big as you dream. So think about a perfect client in your world. You can describe however that you want: title, size of the company, location, whatever matrix that you're doing, and they will pay full price for your product and services. That's the important question. They pay full price. They would love to work with you. So who would be these people? What should they be doing? What are their titles? Like, where would you find these people? So even if you haven't have a client, dream about your perfect client. Like, you don't want to dream of a client that you kind of dread to work with. They lowball you, and then they shop around for 50 competitors, and then they nickel and dime you every step of the way. You don't want those clients. If you're dreaming, you want your perfect clients.
So do you think then maybe LinkedIn is a good resource to look at for identifying those people?
Yeah, LinkedIn is a good resource to look at. For example, if you have one good client that you're really happy working with, can you find or clone, that same type of clients? Can you go on LinkedIn, look at the context profile, what their interests are? Can you find or mine, in the sales term, something similar to your current clients?
Love how you called it cloning the good client. I mean, that's right, because you want to take the attributes from a client that you love working with and then find that in another client, essentially cloning not the client themselves, but the situation.
I love that. So I think everybody knows that it's much cheaper to retain an existing client than to get a new client. So what are your thoughts and opinions about building a customer retention program?
I think the first part is very easy to do and it costs you nothing. So, when is the last time, Candice, that you purchased something from a supplier or from a company, right? That they call you after you purchase from them?
It's funny that you mentioned that because I recently, and I won't out who the company is, but I recently purchased a new SaaS that I had never used before.
Hmm.
I started using it and I had a problem. Now, I had gotten an email that said, "Hi, my name is so and so. I'm just checking in on your experience to see how you're liking our software so far." So I thought to myself, wow, this is amazing. So I reached out to so and so. I won't say the name because I don't want to give away the company, but I said, "Hi, so and so. Actually, yes, I am having a problem and I would love your help." And I explained the problem. And then a day later, somebody from the company contacts me and said, "Hey, so and so doesn't actually exist. That's our AI chatbot that we just
Mm.
have randomly message customers." And so, if you actually want a human to talk to you, you have to go back to our website, go to the bottom right hand corner, click on that chat button, and then put your question in there. Like they didn't forward my question. So first they made me think that there was a real human and there wasn't. It was just an AI. And then they told me that they weren't going to answer my question, that I had to try to jump through these hoops to find another human. But anyway, so
Yeah, that's a
yes,
good example. I think the initial part is actually perfect, right? So they
yes,
reach out to you, then you have some kind of problem or you need help, right? So it should be they should somehow trigger it, right? If customers say I have a problem, it should go to like a human
yes,
center, right? They could use AI, it's fine, doing the outreach. To answer your question is that's the perfect way. After the sale, you should check in with the customer. Are you happy with everything that we've done?
yes,
In your case, you are not unhappy, but you need help,
yes.
right? So if a company don't address a small concern, it will become bigger, and then to the point that you don't like it so much that you are going on Reddit or you're going on X, you're going on LinkedIn to talk about your problem. You don't want that happen as a company. So first of all, you could actually fix small problem if it's within your ability to fix it or change it. Do it right away, and then at the same time you can actually understand more about the customer. If you're a good salesperson, you could also mention your add-ons, your premium services. You can actually bring more revenue for that. And then another no-cost question to ask at the end is, if you're happy with our product and services, would you know a colleague, a friend, or family member that could use our product and services? I would love an introduction. So in that way, that call, you have a happy customer, you make sure that they're happy, and you're actually getting more referral for your business. So that's the first way, no cost, to develop your retention with a customer.
Oh yeah, I think those are all great points. And like to your point, them using AI actually was great. I felt so good in the beginning. I'm like, wow, they really, really care. Now, if they had followed it up and just had someone contact me back, then I never even would have known they used a chatbot. The only way that I knew was when they told me, so they had a breakdown there. So I guess that leads into another question. Do you personally have any tools or flows that you recommend for AI automation to help with customer retention programs?
I think what you just mentioned is actually good, and the more that you can engage with the customer post sale, the higher chances of you getting the referral. Using promotional product, for example, because it's in my industry, what you can also do is you can encourage people to, let's say, a testimonial, or if they are willing, you ask them to join you for a case study. How much would you really be willing to pay or incentivize a client to be a case study for your company? The more case study that you have with different client problems that you can solve, the better your company will look in front of your other prospect. You could incentivize people using promotional product, or even as low cost as doing a sticker for a certain retailer, right? When we open up boxes, if we see some branded material, well, what we can do is we could take pictures of with a phone and we share on social media. What do you think the user generated content can do to your digital marketing? People like to spend a lot of money and effort in digital marketing, but using tangible method like promotional product can also enhance the call to action that you wanted to train the customer to do.
Have you seen any or created any collateral that you thought was particularly interesting or creative that helped a brand leveraged, like a product opportunity?
Yeah, for example, if we talk about like a high ticket sale, let's say a B2B company, right? So this will be maybe a IT director, director, like manager level. So obviously, if they work for a big company, there are other departments who could probably use your services. So the idea is to create a welcome kit for this manager who are new users for you. So you can actually train them with different sticker or maybe give them apparel or even give them a hat. Let's say if they go through the onboarding training for your SaaS software, for example, then you give them a tangible item that could display at work. Then people will come by and say, who give you that hat or item that you have given them? And then they actually become your walking billboard. Okay, I went through this training and it actually helped me solve this and that. You should try it too. So you're actually using the cost for you to spend on the item to train the actual user to promote your businesses.
Is there do you I guess there has to be some type of way to know like what ones will be the most effective. Like a hat is obviously something that's very visible. If somebody chooses to wear the hat and they go out to the grocery store or they go to the office and they're talking with their colleagues, then it's like a billboard front and center on someone's forehead. But do you think that, so I guess like where do you feel is the most bang for your buck as far as like the cost of an item? Like a sticker might be harder, right? Because a sticker could be on a notebook or used as a bookmark or, put somewhere that maybe isn't seen, but a mug might be more something someone has it in the break room. So do you have any like input on what types of products you think have the most visibility?
Let's actually go back to the beginning statement that I made. So you have to know your ideal clients, like who are they? So if you're targeting, for example, my son loves to do a one wheel. So it's a Uniview electric board that he wrote. They send him a bunch of stickers. So if you're targeting his age, right, in the early teens, right, then you do stickers. So they put it everywhere. Or for example, I think one of the best item that connect with the client most is I work with an insurance company. So they insure luxury items like private jets, yachts, things like that. So their retention gift items is actually a fire extinguisher. They
Is it
put their
what?
name on it because people buy their yachts, they buy their plane. The last thing that they will think of is fire extinguisher. But since they're in the insurance business, the fire extinguisher can serve a reminder. We're here for you. We don't want you to use it, but if you need it, it's there for you. So you kind of tie into the message. So that's why I want to use this two example to answer your question. Knowing who your ideal client are, and that will actually answer your question. For example, if I'm targeting soccer mom, for example, what are some of the items that they will use when they are waiting for their kids to finish soccer practice? There are different areas when you go into different situation, or if you are targeting older generation, there's something else, an entire different catalog, right? For example, that we can do. So going back to that question, you have to answer who your ideal clients are, and then the rest will follow.
Fire extinguisher thing is so brilliant. I think that's so brilliant. What an amazing product to gift.
It worked for them, like
Yeah.
the amount that they do, they can afford to do extinguisher. Because obviously the policy that they do is 100 times more than that. So, and I would say that your promotional product, when you give people, is actually an extension. It is a silent ambassador for your brand. So if you're saying I'm luxury, I am eco-friendly, or I am innovative, so your promotional product they speak for your brand. So if you say you're luxury, you're giving me like a 50 cents pen, then it might not translate to the value. Or if you say I'm eco-friendly, you're sending me something that wrapped in 7 layers of plastic. So it doesn't really connect to the message that you're trying to give to the customers.
Wow, I think this is all really great insight into really leveraging the power of a product to show your customers that you appreciate them, but then also ultimately reflect your brand. I love it. So I guess I want to move into what are your personal thoughts about networking in business, both in person and virtually?
I love both. I love networking, as you could probably tell. I think the online networking part, because you could be anywhere in the world, really, any industry, any type of meetings that you want to go to, especially if you are thinking about going to that industry or exploring opportunity within that industry, you can actually attend a lot of meeting for free, right? Anywhere in the world to see if that's really for you. But if you ask me, I would still think in-person networking is important because you can see a person face to face. You can see the real gesture. You can really hear the tone of their voice. And I think still, you can call me old school. You make better connection that way in person.
Yeah, there is something about like getting to see somebody and shake their hand and just like be in the same room with someone that is a different experience than, meeting, like over the airwaves. But I mean, yeah, because I've known people on the internet that I've known for 2 years, but then when I meet them in person, it's like, wow, this is so amazing. So yes. So I guess I want to ask, like, as far as business is concerned, do you think that it's important to join the Chamber of Commerce, or do you think that that you don't need to do that? You can join maybe private groups?
Depending on the industry. So I would go where I think my clients are going to be. For me, would be a business owner or a VP level who likes to grow the business. So I determined that I could probably find them at Chamber of Commerce, or maybe you're in the wealth management services, right? So maybe a golf club, a country club will be worthwhile for you. Or if you are a mindset coach for athletes. So there are different area or association that you could join as well. So do ask yourself, who are you trying to meet? And there are a lot of different association, a lot of different chamber of commerce, or maybe you want to be hyper local, like in your specific area. You want to be known as the expert for that. So maybe you just stay locally. So there's no right or wrong. It's like, who do you want to meet? So then you could answer your question, what association or chamber of commerce you should join.
That's great feedback again. I want to know, like, do you actually, like yourself, use a CRM? And if so, what CRM do you recommend?
I use HubSpot. I think it's easy to use. Might not be the cheapest, but I think it does its job, and I love doing it. It's the interface is simple, and then I connect it with all my Gmail. So yeah, I've been happy so far. I've been a happy customer.
Do you have any automations that you use with HubSpot? I know HubSpot does support some automations.
I use the email function that they have, and I also use the forms, and we also create custom landing pages. So when we go there, we know that, when we direct people to a certain location, I know they're actually going there.
That's awesome. Yeah, actually, I was looking at different CRMs, and I thought HubSpot was a really good one. So I did sign up myself too. They did not sponsor this
Yeah,
podcast.
they're not paying us.
They're not paying us. So what is a power partner?
A power partner, for example, using myself as an example, right, as a promotional product industry. So a partner to me is people in non-competing industry whom we could serve as a mutual client. So for me, will be a graphic designer or maybe a merger and acquisition company. Why do I say that? Is because we print customers' logo on tangible products. If we work with a graphic designer who design new logos for a client, then I know that they need to print new stuff. So that's why we are serving the same client, but then we're not competing, right? We don't do graphic design, so they do. And then a merger and acquisition, if you buy a new company or if you merge with a new company, chances are a new logo will be created or a new tagline will be created. And then again, they go through the cycle again, will need a new product. So think about people who serve the mutual client that are non-competing. So reach out to those people and let them know what you're trying to do, and those will become your power partners.
Awesome. So do you have any like tools that you recommend for small businesses for them to use?
In terms of sales or networking, or what do you have in mind?
I guess all of the above.
I think it's to answer the question, who is your ideal client? Actually, again, HubSpot is not paying me, but HubSpot actually, if you do a Google search, create your persona by HubSpot. So they actually guide you through the process. So you can actually say what title the person is, what industry it is. And then you can actually answer the question in sales, in marketing, in your outreach effort, connecting with office worker, there's email would be a good choice. If you contacting like foreman in the construction industry, maybe you actually have to go on the field. So by answering who the ideal customers are, and then you can see where these people are located, how can I reach them? What kind of association or organization that they believe in? Is it available to me locally, or I have to go virtually to find these people? So by figuring that out, it's a free tool, then you can actually answer a lot of questions, and you don't go in like a big circle finding that things that doesn't work for you.
Do you have any thoughts on a piece of collateral that you feel is outdated that people don't use anymore?
I think people don't call anymore. I don't know why. Like people like to email, they text me, they LinkedIn DM me, but a lot of people don't don't speak on the call right now. I don't know if you notice that, Candice. Like, do people still love to talk on the phone?
You know what? Almost all of my meetings are actually on like Zoom or Google Meet. They're all like this, where it's, well, I mean, for the people listening on Spotify, this is like a video broadcast. So that's what I mean. It's not audio. So that's the majority of my meetings now. But I get it. Like just the regular phone, like people don't want to just call on the phone anymore. Probably because we're getting so many spam phone calls.
Yeah. But I think, it's really beneficial to you, and you could grow your business by keep your customer top of mind. Because if they haven't heard from you from 6 months, or let's say your service provider, don't call them when it's time to renew. Mm-hmm. They know why you're calling. So maybe check in with them and then really ask them open-ended question. How is your business like? Or how can we support your business? What has been some of the changes? Like get to know who they are. And then the more question you ask them, the better, and be ready to listen for their pain point. Maybe there are additional things that they didn't know that you have available that you can help them. And by listening, you can actually maintain your relationship and possibly grow your relationship if you have a contact in a big organization.
Absolutely. I think that's such an important point, like listening to your customer and also, staying in touch with them, not just when you want to send them a bill, but to make sure that they're happy. Because I think a lot of small business owners just make the assumption that because the client is still paying, they're happy, but they might not be. They might, and also not only might something could be improved, but maybe they don't know about another service that you're offering. So I guess, like, how would you approach making sure that your customers know all of the services that you're offering?
I mean, it's tough. For using me as an example again, like I have over 5,000 items available. Like you don't need to know about all 5,000 to be effective, right? When you buy promotional product, I do ask them questions. So there are a couple of general questions in every industry that, in my industry is how many do you need? Like how many events do you go to? Or what kind of message are you trying to set across? Do you ask them open-ended question and let them speak about their problem? Don't cut them off and let them really talk about it, and then make notes and how can you be more effective. And when they think about their problem, you want to make sure that you're the first one that they call. So if you're able to do that, then you're very successful already. You become actually not a vendor or supplier to them. You actually become one of their advisors.
I love that. Yes, that make yourself the person that they want to call. That's so brilliant. So you've given like such amazing insight this whole call. I'm so happy that you joined us today for this podcast episode. So I know that you have a podcast yourself. It's called The Small Business Show. What kind of topics do you cover on that?
Well, the small business show I created because in the love of small business, I always wonder, Swire 20 years ago when he started his business, if he talked to an expert, like the guest on the show, can the guest save Swire at that time, couple of months or sometimes couple of years by going in circle? That's why we're going to different topics every time, and then really dive deep. As a small business professional standpoint, can these experts really help small businesses? So I try to ask questions that are down to earth, right? Not too open-ended, but really think of as a small business professional standpoint, can these experts really help to what they say they are going to?
So if you could give like Swire from 20 years ago who just started his business a piece of advice, what advice would you give him?
I would say listen to your customer. When they tell you, and especially when they complain to you, if they actually call you, that means that you can still fix it. If I really hate you so much, if I really displease you so much, you never hear from me again. Maybe I'll send you a lawyer's bill or things like that. The reason that they call you is because they want to address their concern. And if you're able to fix it right away. Even if you have to maybe lose money or make less money at that point, do try to fix it. I think there are a lot of times that I try to argue or stand my ground, and then I lost the customer. So if I would talk to Swire 20 years ago, listen to your customers. Don't talk back.
That's really fantastic advice. So if someone wants to reach out and contact you, what's the best way for them to do that?
I'm very active on LinkedIn. If you search for my name, Swire Ho, hashtag the promo guy, you'll find me on there. If you wanted to learn more about promotional product, Candice, I'll actually send you a link. People can book me for a free deep dive call to learn more about who you are, who you're trying to target, and to try to build a custom program that could help you to build on the customer retention.
Wow, that's awesome. So thank you so much for joining me again, Swire. Do you have any parting words that you want to leave the audience with?
Well, I love, all the questions that you have. Let's try to help each other and then go find your power partners.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you so much, Swire. Have a great day.
Thank you.